Hey there, Tesag here. Today we are playing Elwin and Shaera, the nature campaign from Heroes of Might and Magic 4. Elwin, the protagonist, is elven druid and politician known for chasing women, enjoying life and dressing eccentrically. The story kicks off with him sabotaging his own ship just to spend night with a girl. Unfortunately, that backfires as pirates attack while the guards are under effect of his sleeping potion. We wash up on shore, our goal being to escort Shaera, the girl, to her father, an elven general. He most likely fended off the pirates and continued the journey while we escaped on a dinghy during the chaos of battle. Along the way we befriend some wolves, thanks to our druidic abilities. I won't be focusing on building large armies this run, instead I will rely heavily on summoning magic, which I've used 20 years ago, and I'm gonna do it again. To fully embrace the nature alignment, I will be restricted to learning only nature magic during this campaign. Also, I debated whether to take summoning skill separate from summoning magic. It's useful early on since it provides free troops, but in the late game I would have to dismiss them constantly to avoid being slowed down. In the end, I took it to make things easier for me now, as I'll probably get it from some building anyway later on. We liberate small town and its inhabitants ask us for help dealing with local bandits. Elwin, being Elwin, would rather run away, but he can't because Shaera is watching, so we have to deal with the threat. We successfully escort Shaera to the port town where her father awaits and learn that Elwin always avoided responsibilities and only started pretending to be hero to impress Shaera. Now he's actually stepping up to that role as we are done with the first map. On second map, we learn a little bit about Elven society. As politician, Elwin is part of the court, and the kingdom functions more like republic, with king acting as a president. Our political rival, Harke, is about to be elected the new king, and conveniently sends us on a suicide mission, negotiating an alliance with White Tigers. We learn early on that Tigers are fiercely independent and see no reason in joining an alliance with us. Worse, for other tried before us and never to return from the journey. So, yeah. One of the Tigers is willing to talk with Elwin, but ends up soaking us in urine to mark us as temporary ally. We soon discover that the Tigers' real problem isn't the local troll tribes hunting them, it's that their population has been declining because their cubs are stillborn. And the cause is most likely an army of undead hiding beneath the land, siphoning the Tigers' life energy from them. So we scout the caverns and kill the necromancer who is behind it all. With that, the Tigers agree to join us and we return home victorious. By the start of map 3, the love story takes center stage as Elwin tries to marry Shaera. However, her father violently disapproves, and to prove his point, he punches us in the face. Harke offers us a chance to earn respect. Recover the bow of Elven King, which allegedly Shaera's father lost long time ago. Naturally, we agree and start the journey. This turns out to be a setup though. Harke made up the entire story and convinced our captain to assassinate us. The captain, conflicted, instead spares us, leads us into deep forest and warns us to never return again to the Elven Kingdom. Then he writes a letter to the court, falsely accusing us of all kinds of crimes. Having previously helped the Tigers, they now support us, making it easier to escape and build our own army. Soon we hear devastating news. Shaera has hastily married Harke. Elwin suspects foul play and deduces she's probably cursed with love potion. To break it, we need to construct Mirror of True Love, which sets us on a series of quests. First, we help some alchemists who sends us north. Along the way, Shaera sends a letter. We've been friend-zoned. It's funny. Next we find the jeweler, who will craft the mirror's frame, but asks for 40 gems. We accept. The game doesn't tell us what to do next, but there is only one way forward, so we follow that. Eventually we find a merchant who is selling magic sand for a ridiculous 10,000 gold. Having no choice, we pay up and only learn that it must be actually melted by a dragon. Luckily there is a red dragon nearby and is willing to help us, if we rescue his mate from a heavily guarded town. Well, the town's level 20 summoner is kinda challenging, but thankfully he lacks any resistance, so we obliterate him with the magic of our water elementals. Free the black dragon and reunite them. After that, the red dragon finally melts the sand into glass, so we can finish the Mirror of True Love and move on. Map 4 starts with Harke convincing the court and most of Elven Kingdom that we are real criminals who must be stopped. Our only way out from this situation is somehow forcing my own enemy to clear our name. Thankfully, not everyone believes these accusations. The kingdom is now split, one side supports us and the other is backing Harke. Unfortunately, the Elven court sides with Harke. Our plan? Find Miralas, the captain who betrayed us, and force him to confess. But he's gone into hiding, knowing both sides want him dead. Our only lead is his brother, who resides in nearby town under Harke's control. After liberating the town, we convince Miralas' brother to help us in exchange for protection. When we finally track Miralas down, he ambushes us. We beat him into submission, but instead of executing him, we spare his life. Shocked, he cooperates and writes a full confession to the Elven court. Now, with our name cleared, our next target is Harke himself. We storm his manor just as Shaera, under his control, is about to slit her own throat. We break the curse, but she's kinda mentally scared for life. Map 5 takes events months later. Elwin is officially the Elven king now. However, Harke, being a master strategist, still has a large army and quite enough influence to start a civil war. After fighting through a series of battles and exploring challenge areas, I accidentally run into Harke himself. His army is strong, but we manage to crush it, although it brings massive losses to our army as well. And just as Elwin is about to execute him, he decides he has had enough bloodshed. Instead, as instructed by the court, Harke is imprisoned. Now, the campaign has two possible endings. If we take the red boat, Shaera believes we are dead and runs off a cliff. Elwin, upon learning that, is heartbroken, quits being a king and goes into exile, living alone in the forest for the rest of his life with just wolves and tigers. If we take the white boat, we learn that Harke pulled some strings from prison and convinced few of my men to swap flags upon reaching the island. This way, Shaera again sees a red flag and runs to jump from the cliff, but we chase her and stop her at the last second. And that's basically how Elwin became Elven King and won Shaera's love. Before we get to what I think about the campaign, there is my build for both main heroes. Showing it at the end of each video is something I would like to start doing from now on. Artifacts are not as important, but definitely help them both survive and dish out some extra damage. Now, let me briefly share my thoughts about this campaign. Again, it's a solid campaign with great characters development, world building and political intrigue. Every character have some kind of depth, flaws and biases. While I usually don't care much about love stories, this one is quite well written, and the love is not the only topic in it or the main focus. Also, I noticed more plot holes in this campaign than in any other I previously played. Just one of the flaws, I think. Either way, surprisingly, I didn't enjoy playing nature as much as I expected. Nostalgia often does the fun of replaying old games, so yeah, but it still was quite a great experience. And with that I think I said everything I wanted, so I will catch you next time.